introduce himself. Nancy, will you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Nancy Kropa from Traverse City, Michigan. I'm a national marketing director, and Jerry and I are partners in business as well as partners in life, and we're just having the time of our lives.
Cool. Janice?
I'm Janice Stutz. I'm from Monroe, Michigan, same place as Dr. Hubbard, and I'm a sales coordinator.
Awesome. Luann?
Luann Stark-Dykema from Okemos, which is near East Lansing, Michigan. Sales coordinator, and glad we're doing these calls.
Awesome. Karen? Go ahead, Karen.
Okay. I'm from Carlton, Michigan, which is just maybe 8 miles from Monroe, and I work with Dr. Hubbard. And I've been a fairly new distributor since July.
Cool. Bonnie, you want to fill us in on the other details? What's your position with the company and stuff?
Actually, we're going to sign up for distributorship this week, probably tonight or tomorrow.
Very good.
My background is in healthcare. I'm a registered nurse. And I'm retired from that, so I'm looking for something to do in all my spare time.
Well, this is a good thing to do in spare time. Mary Lane?
Yes, I'm Mary Lane Keener. I'm in Lansing, Michigan. I'm a QNMD, and I wish I had some spare time. And Jim, I'm looking forward to your presentation tonight.
Okay, cool. Well, obviously, I'm Dr. Jim Hubbard. I'm from Monroe, Michigan. I'm a senior sales coordinator heading towards Q. And I've been with Juice Plus now for 13 years. So I first got introduced to Juice Plus with a friend of mine, Dr. Albrecht. And what really drove me to the business was the research. It made sense to me. And so I decided to try it. And I noticed after being on Juice Plus for about 3.5 months, a lot of inflammatory problems I had in my joints from working as a chiropractor went away. Ran out of the product. Pains came back. I repeated that cycle 2 more times. And I knew that Juice Plus really, really worked. So that was 13 years ago, and I haven't stopped since then. Then I went up to Nancy's boot camp up in Traverse City. And up there I learned, when I looked around the room, I realized that the people's why, because of what they said, the way they acted and they did, we're going to be talking about that in a minute, but they all had a heart for helping people. That was why they were there. That was their focus, their talk. Even Doug Arscott, the vice president. And that resonated with me, and I decided that, yeah, I want to do this business, and that's been how that went. So let's go ahead. I'm going to hit the record button here, and we'll get things rocking and rolling. There's a permission from the meeting host. Nancy, that's you, dear.
Jim, I've already got it recording, so we're good to go.
All righty, ready. Well, tonight's talk is going to be talking about success means why, or at least knowing why. It's important to have a why, and you've heard this around Juice Plus ever since I've been involved. You need to have a good, strong why, strong enough to get you through the disappointments that come with life, canceled orders, a team not performing or quitting, a string of no's all of a sudden all the way down, and keep yourself from quitting yourself. Like Nancy and I have joked sometimes, the best thing about this business is the people. The worst thing about this business can be the people sometimes. So even though it may keep you in the game, keep you from throwing in the towel, just knowing the basic why that brings you to tears maybe is not enough to really attract other people to yourself as customers. So get some pencil and paper, and what I want you to do is draw 3 circles. It's going to look like a bullseye. Circle in the middle, a bigger circle around the outside, and another bigger circle. We have 3 rings. In the middle of the one ring, I want you to write the word why. The bullseye is why. The next ring out, just below why, I want you to write the word how. And then just below that, in the third ring out, I want you to write the word what. So while you're doing that, we'll get started here. Great leaders choose to inspire instead of use manipulation in order to motivate people. They do it by following the laws of what's called the golden circle. That's what you just drew, is a golden circle. The golden circle was inspired by a thing called the golden ratio, which is a simple mathematical formula relationship of relationships that has fascinated thinkers since the beginning of the history, dating back to the early Egyptians. It's been able to show order in nature, where most of us think there's just random things happening. It has many applications and in many, many fields. It offers a formula that can produce repeated and predictable results, which is critical for our business. The golden circle finds order and predictability in human behavior. Simply put, it helps us understand why we do what we do. The golden circle provides compelling evidence of how much more we can achieve if we remind ourselves to start everything we do by first asking why, identifying our why and getting in touch with our why. You'll have a better understanding how to do that when we're done here tonight, hopefully. The golden circle gives us this understanding and perspective of how leaders and organizations like Apple can innovate successfully in so many diverse industries. It explains why people tattoo Harley Davidson on their bodies and the company has such a loyal following of customers. I'm one of those customers. I got a Harley and I can't imagine ever not buying a Harley. It gives us a clear understanding of how such a loyal following of customers occurs and how Southwest Airlines went from one of the worst airlines to one of the most profitable airlines in the history, and why the things that they did, why it worked. This golden circle will show us how these leaders were able to inspire action instead of manipulating people to accomplish something. It explains loyalty and how to create enough momentum to turn an idea into a social movement. The successful use of the golden circle will mean starting from the inside out. You start from the why to the how to the what. First, we need to understand what these words actually mean. So to do that, we're going to start in reverse order. So what? It's what you do, very simply. It's what you do. Everyone can easily describe the products or the services that the company sells or their job function within that company and that system. How is described as a proprietary process or the steps or the unique selling proposition for a company. For Juice Plus, for example, this could be the proprietary process of how Juice Plus goes from farm to capsule, or how the virtual franchise works. Many people think that just knowing what and how and talking about the different values and benefits of what and how are the differentiating factors that cause a person to be motivated to making a decision to buy from you or join your group. It would be a false to assume that this is all that's required. They're important, but it's not all that's required. In fact, the most important detail that is missing from how and why, from how and what and how, sometimes I talk, sometimes I practice. The most important detail missing is why. So the definition of why is not to make money. A lot of people say, why are you doing it? Well, I want to make money. I want to make a lot of money. That's not the why. That's an end product. And if you're only focused on why, you may have success, but it's going to be short-lived and you won't have any longevity and loyal customers. Why is your purpose? It's your cause. It's your belief. We're talking about why your company exists, why you get out of bed every morning to do what you do, and most importantly, why should anyone else care? Most people and companies communicate from the outside in relative to this golden circle. They go from the clearest saying what they do to the fuzziest saying, why do they do it? The most important question to ask is, why do we do what we do? All inspired companies and leaders think and act from the inside of the golden circle out, from the why to the how to the what. This is something you should write down and burn in your memories. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. People don't buy what you do, but they do buy why you do it. Apple is a very well-known company, so let's use it as an example of understanding why you should start with your why. Apple is just a company like any other company. Apple, Dell, Hewlett-Packard, Gateway, Toshiba, etc. They all make computers and have equal access to the same talent, resources, agencies, consultants, media. They all have the same good managers, designers, engineers with systems that work and some that don't. They all have some products that work and some that don't. So why is it that Apple rises above all these other companies and has such a disproportionate level of success? Why are they more innovative, consistently more profitable? How did they manage to build such a cultish, loyal following of people who are willing to pay more for an Apple product? Again, I'm one of those people. I know that I'm paying more from Apple, but I don't care. I want it. So this is something that very few companies are ever able to achieve. It's why Apple does what they do that distinguishes them and allows for their great success. Their products give life to their cause, to their why. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Remember that. It's critically important. When Apple first came out with a Macintosh with an operating system that was based on graphical user interface, not complicated computer language, they challenged at the time how computers worked. Also, most technology companies at that time considered their biggest market to be among the business world, the major corporations. Apple, in addition to challenging how computers worked, Apple wanted to give the individual sitting at home the same power that a business company had. That was their why. It was to challenge the status quo, to empower the individual. This pattern is repeated in everything they say and do even today. It comes to life in their iPod, and even more so with their iTunes, a service that challenged the status quo of the music industry distribution model and is better suited to how individuals again consume music. Remember when Sony came out with the Walkman back in 1979? It was really cool, and it gave us portability to listen to music finally instead of the albums and stuff at home. But it was limited to the number of cassette tapes or CDs that you could carry with you. Apple, staying in touch with their why of empowering the people, produced the MP3 music format of digital compression, which allowed for a higher quality of music to be stored in a relatively inexpensive, highly portable device. This MP3 format still dominates the industry today and stays in harmony with Apple's why of giving power to the individual. Their advertising at the time didn't even offer exhaustive description of why it's better. This technique is better than the other one. It's better than CDs, da-da-da-da. So it wasn't descriptions their advertising focused on, the how and the what. It wasn't even about the company. Their advertisement was strictly driven towards us. It was all about us, the consumers. And we understood why we wanted their product, their MP3 players. Apple has defined itself by why it does things, not what it does. It isn't a company. It isn't a computer company. It's a company that challenges the status quo and empowers us as individuals. That's the difference between Apple and these other computer companies. They start with why. The Apple company starts with why in everything they say and do, because they realize that people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. This isn't an opinion. This is actually biology. It's a very basic human need, the need to fit in, to be part of or like a group. This need to belong isn't rational, but it is consistent and exists across all people and all cultures anywhere in the world. It's a feeling that we get when those around us share our values and belief. When you're around people like that, you feel more comfortable and better. When we feel like we belong, we feel connected and we feel safe, something we desire as human beings. We crave this feeling. We seek it out whenever we can. Your feeling of belonging may at times be incidental. For example, we are not probably friends with everyone in our hometown. But if you travel across the state, across the country, or abroad, and you happen to run into somebody from your hometown, you instantly feel a connection with them at that time because you have that commonality. In the case of traveling abroad, if we're on a bus somewhere in another country, we'll feel a bond with another American just because we speak the same language. And most likely we're going to trust that person more than anybody else on that bus. So no matter where we go, we trust those with whom we are able to perceive a common value and a common belief. It's nature, it's driven in us, it's part of our makeup. Our desire to feel like we belong is so powerful that we will go to great lengths to do irrational things, often spending money to get that feeling. We want to be around organizations of people like us who share our beliefs. In Juice Plus, this would be beliefs like living a healthy lifestyle, eating clean, consuming proper amounts of fruits and vegetables, taking Juice Plus to bridge the gap between what we're not eating but we know we should, or join our virtual franchise to be able to own our own life and everything that goes with that concept. So going back to the computer company example that we talked about above, Dell defines itself as a computer company. Thus, only computers make sense connected to Dell. They're the only thing that belongs with Dell. The need to belong also makes us very good at spotting what don't belong. It's a sense of our gut feeling we talk about. For example, if Dell tries selling the MP3 player, it doesn't fit because they're not a music company, they're a computer company. Apple defines itself as a company on a mission. And so anything that they do that fits that mission is going to feel like it belongs with and to Apple. Our Juice Plus company is founded on the vision statement, the why, if you will, of Jay Martin, to build a stable and lasting company that will help as many people as possible realize their dreams. Our company's mission statement, also part of our why, is to inspire healthy living around the world. Thus, Juice Plus capsules, soft chews, complete, Tower Garden, the new product on the horizon, a vegan omega product, they all feel like they belong with the Juice Plus company because it fits our why. These examples demonstrate how the Juice Plus community, which is us, has a similar why to that of Apple. We too are challenging the status quo of the typical model of healthcare, aka sick care in this country, that abounds today. We, the Juice Plus distributors, are putting the health of people and their families and their future generations in the hands of the individual, one person at a time. Rock on, brothers and sisters. You guys are doing a great job. I'm proud of you for that. Now, thinking about how I can positively contribute to the health and financial well-being of my loved ones, along with their future generations, it does, in fact, when I thought about it and put this in this PowerPoint, it did bring tears to my eyes. So it met the criteria. Your why should be so strong it brings tears to your eyes. So for those of us on this Zoom call tonight, what greater gift can we give our family and our loved ones than that? Remember above I stated that the golden circle is biologic. Gut decisions don't happen in your stomach. Sorry to tell you. They happen in the limbic part of your brain. If you look at a cross-section of the brain, you're going to see that the levels of the golden circle you drew correspond precisely with the 3 major levels of the human brain. So now I want you to draw another circle next to that one, just like you did, but instead of putting the how, why, how, and what in there, I want you to write the word across left to right, the 2 inner circles, write limbic brain, L-I-M-B-I-C, from left to right in the 2 inner circles. Now, in the bottom circle, the outer ring, write the word neocortex, N-E-O-C-O-R-T-E-X. When we communicate from the inside out, we are talking directly to the part of the brain that controls decision-making and feelings, the limbic brain. Our language part of the brain simply allows us to rationalize those decisions we're making based on our feelings. We make decisions based on how we feel about something. We say things like, we are following our gut or heart. The part of the stomach or heart, no part of it actually controls decision-making, I hate to tell you. So when we're following our heart or our gut, we're actually following our limbic brain. So when we talk about winning hearts and minds, the heart represents the limbic feelings part of the brain, and the mind is simply the rational language center. Great leaders that have been around the world win hearts before they win the people's minds by starting with the why. Martin Luther King is a classic example of that. Products with a good sense of why give people a way to tell the outside world who they are and what they believe by the products they consume. They identify with it. So starting with why is just the beginning. There's still work to do before your person or company earns the right to inspire people. For the golden circle to work, each of the pieces must be in balance and in the right order, the how, the why, and the what. You have to clearly know why you do what you do. To lead or build a team, like we try to do in Juice Plus, requires people willing to follow. If you don't have anybody willing to follow, you can't build a team. It requires those who believe in something bigger than a single issue. To inspire starts with the clarity of why. Once you are clear on your why, the question becomes, how will you do it? How shares your values or principles that guide how you bring life to your cause? How is the systems, the processes within the company or that you follow or do, and the culture is involved? It's the tools, the how is the tools, like our three-way calls. This Zoom call we're on now is a tool. CDs, videos, boot camps, conferences, etc. By the way, conferences this weekend. Hopefully everybody's going to be making that. The Juice Plus community uses these tools I just mentioned to bring the message of inspiring and healthy living to the individual. Your how points back to and confirms your why. A why is just a belief. You have to have consistency of what you do and say. You have to have consistency of what you do and say in order to prove your belief, which is your why. Hows are the actions you take to realize the belief of why. The only way people will know what you believe is by the things you say and do with consistency. When everything you say and do is what you actually believe, you will become authentic, a critical thing to achieve. If you want your success to be lasting, to develop raving fan customers that are going to stay with you for the duration, who are loyal to your brand, you must be perceived as authentic. When your decisions feel right in our limbic brain, we are willing to pay a premium or suffer the inconvenience for those products or services. It doesn't matter. It feels right in the brain. It becomes more about who we are and less to do with the company or the product we're buying. People are people, and biology of decision-making is the same no matter if it's about business, personal decisions, or whatever. A decision that feels right at the highest level, that limbic level of confidence for that person, it gives them confidence. The goal of business is not, and should not be at least, the goal of your business should not be to do business with just anyone who wants to simply have what you have. We should be focused and looking for people who believe what we believe. If we do this, trust will emerge amongst the people. With trust comes a sense of real value. Value is defined as the transference of trust. When people trust you, they will be willing to follow you. They won't have anything to do with you if they don't trust you. Having people that trust you and are willing to follow you is basic to becoming a leader. Again, how can you lead if you don't have people following? This is what knowing why will do for you. When clearly understood and put forth, a why will attract people to you with a common belief. You will attract people who are a good fit for your team, a good fit for your customer base. All great leaders have in common the ability to find good fits for their organizations and their teams. The Wright brothers, for example, they had a very special dream. They knew why it was important to build an airplane. They believed that if they could figure out this flying machine, it would change the world as they knew it. They imagined the beliefs for everyone else. They imagined the benefits for everyone else if they were successful. For them, it wasn't about themselves. It was about everyone else. It wasn't about the fame or fortune they would receive. It was about other people and their benefit they would gain from that. So, I'm asking you now, what are your dreams? Do you know why they are important to you? Are your dreams part of your why? Are you involved in Juice Plus as a customer or team member or builder? Look deep into your limbic brain to identify your values, to identify your passions and your desires. That's going to give you the why that we're talking about tonight. Can you put those passions and values into words that others will care about and can recognize in themselves, which will inspire them to join you in the Juice Plus company and culture? The answers to these questions that I just asked you will help you in formulating your why, a why that others will recognize in themselves and that will inspire and attract and draw them to want to be part of your quest, to be part of your team, to be part of your customer base. Now, the information that I've shared with you so far tonight comes from the book Simon Sinek, titled Start With Why. I have presented just a brief snippet of the wisdom that you're going to find in this book. There's so much more to learn in there by reading the book. I highly recommend it to you as a must-read for you to develop a deeper understanding of how to develop your why and how to use it in your life. You'll develop a why that will bring you the success in life that you desire, no matter what you're doing. So my original why, before I read this book and started putting this presentation together, I'm going to share that with you real quick. My original why was to be able to visit my kids wherever they choose to live for as long as I want or need to cut the cord that ties me to my adjusting table and all the freedom that goes with that, to own my own life, thus be able to go when and where I want to go for as long as I want while having the health and money that I need to enjoy it. Now my why, with using these concepts, is this: to wake up every morning excited to work at something that I love, to inspire people, to be able to own their own life so they can travel when, where, and for as long as they want, while having the good health and money necessary to fully enjoy it. To inspire people to learn a few simple lifestyle changes that will allow them as individuals to take charge of or improve their own health and pass this knowledge on to their future generations, consequently avoiding the less desirable effects offered by the drug and surgery model of care. I am thrilled daily to be able to show them how that by teaching others this information, they themselves can have all the money they need to realize their dreams and the dreams of their families. So here's the question: which one of these whys I just read to you, my whys, speaks more to you? Which one would inspire you to consider joining my team? Yeah, I agree with it. The second one. The first one was much too much about me and not enough about my cause of a God-given purpose to help people. So at this point, I want to thank you for sharing with me tonight your most valuable commodity, which is your time. Hopefully, you found this information to be valuable to yourselves. And so in that sense, I will say God's blessings to you. And do you have any questions? Nancy, you want to open up the mics for questions?
If anyone has a question, all you have to do is hit the mute button on the bottom on the left-hand side of your screen. And
That's what the book looks like.
oh, that's great.
What was the name of the book again?
Start with Why.
Uh-huh.
Start
And
with
the
Why by Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek, okay.
I was first introduced to him on Cheryl Cortese's app, Be the Good. He's got segments on there he does, and it's really amazing. That was my first introduction to him, and that's what led me to buy this book and start reading that.
He
Thank
he
you.
also has a TED Talk, if you want the
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
quick
Yeah.
version. You can look it up on YouTube.
Cool. So any questions?
No, that was the only one I had.
Okay. Well, hearing none, I would again thank you for being on the call tonight. Hopefully you've gained something that will help you. And God's blessings to you. And let's shut this down and get on, ready to get on Cheryl Cortese's call tonight. Nancy, do you know what it is? Oh, there's a couple of things I want to cover. Now, there's not going to be a call next Monday night, a Zoom call, because we're going to be having a Cheryl Cortese's conference wrap-up. Nancy's going to be sending out some invitations to that. So we won't have a Zoom call, but there will be an awesome wrap-up from conference on Cheryl Cortese's call. Nancy, again, will send those invitations out.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
All right, everyone, have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you later. Hope to see some of you in conference.
Yes,
Good to
definitely.
see everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
See ya.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.